Alright, guys, today we're gonna be reacting to cheap things men don't get the second dates for not paying them. Let's jump in.
I think that's why a lot of guys maybe don't get second or third dates because sometimes it's just from splitting the bill. Maybe some women just don't like that approach. But also, I think maybe if the chemistry and the vibe is off, and even if the guy pays the whole bill, they might not get a second or third date because the vibe's just off. It just kind of depends on the person you're dating.
I thought it was like because biologically men.
Wait. Do you think that the vibe? Wait, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. You would not date? Let's say he's Mr. Perfect. He's in the looks department, personality, everything else. But he just says, "Look, I don't think it's fair for me to have to pay for the entirety of this date if we're both here for the same purpose." You're saying that's a disqualifier for you, even though all the other marks are checked?
If it's like a first or second date, I wouldn't find it very attractive. But after a while, I think that, going back and forth on paying for dates after you get to know the person, but I really want to see effort on the guy's part that they're invested in getting to know me.
Well, let me just ask you, I'll follow up this last thing. If it were the case that a man asked you out and said that he did not want to pay for the date, would you consider that a red flag?
Yes.
Then why do you have the expectation that he wouldn't see the same red flag with you if you proposed?
I think a lot of guys do. Like they don't like a woman who just expects men to pay on the first date.
Which you are one of those women.
But my expectations come from my lived reality, which is that pretty much for the most part, every date I've been on, the guy has paid. But come towards the second or third date, I'll offer to split, and most of the time they don't want to.
Oh, how magnanimous of you. Okay, I appreciate the back and forth there.
Oh, I was just gonna say I just thought that it was because biologically men were providers and protectors and women were nurturers and caretakers. So I thought
Oh, you guys notice something about this one, that red-haired lady? She's trying to be very, what's the word for it? She still wanna present this angelical figure and naive. She want to give you the impression that it's naive. Why is that? Because guys, we like that. We like the females to be naive and very delicate. We like that, right? So she's trying to be like a very naive person, but with strong opinions and a strong character. You see what I'm saying? Strong character.
logically we would look for those traits and they would look for that in us.
Yeah, so I don't dispute that. I think the ontology of men and women follows this pedigree. However, I think that if that is true, aren't women supposed to be acting in that pedigree and not acting in some other manner? Meaning, okay, I want a provider, and I want a provider to take care of me, and et cetera, et cetera. And in this case, you, the woman's the nurturer, blah, 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 blah. But if that's the case, and you want to do this the correct way, why wouldn't the expectation of the man be then that you did everything in that traditional way, meaning that your virginity or low body count at the very least, or the submission portion of this, et cetera, et cetera? And why wouldn't he have those expectations? It's like you can't ask him to provide you with all those things and then not give your end of that, right? Otherwise, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm just saying that biologically we just feel that way. Like, that's just the way we feel.
Okay.
I guess biologically men also prefer women who are not promiscuous and virgins, but
Yeah, good point.
Biologically, men like paying for dates, Brian.
yeah. Well, this all stemmed from,
Biological.
I think this all stemmed from, we were talking about rotational dating. Women, you said, well, men do this. Men, they date multiple women at the same time, so women should do the same. And then I think that's how we got back into it about, well, so then women should pay because that's what men do.
it's not illegal to pay for a first date. If you're a woman, you can. But I just think that typically women are under the assumption that if a man asks them out and wants to get to know them further, that they would be more than happy to pay.
She's a clear example of the epitome of feminism. She wants all the privileges of traditional womanhood, but zero accountability when it comes down to egalitarianism. She don't want that. They don't want that. They never wanted that in the first place. They never wanted it. They just want the privileges with zero responsibility.
Pay for a first date.
Sure, yeah, most men are probably more than happy to pay for the first date. But the thing is that I, as a man, can never go into a date with these same expectations that women can go into.
Are
a
you
date.
going on a date with another man?
How? I don't see how that's.
Then you
even
can
an
maybe
argument.
have that expectation
I
of
don't know-
getting your
I don't
date
know what-
paid for with a man.
That doesn't map on one-to-one about the conversation we're having, because we're talking about women dating men and men dating women. It's not even clear to me. I don't know how
'Cause
gay
you're
guys
like-
go about it. I thought they just. I didn't think that. I don't know how they do it.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know how.
You're
gay-
kind of giving vibes like you might know.
Wow. She went there, bro.
Wait, how does labia come into this?
It comes into everything. Well, it gets cummed in. But
Well,
What the fuck, you degens?
Well, like you're
How would
upset
I-
because you want the expectation to be a man goes into a date with a woman and she would pay, right?
No, he's saying the
What?
expectation that if he would
I
prefer,
don't even.
if women prefer men to pay for dates, they equally could have the same expectation that women would not be promiscuous. The argument was,
Oh.
why do you
Hail
think
and
that
well
if-
met.
Oh, look at
Lol
look at who it
Paladins
is.
donated $200.
thank
Yo,
you.
this is the dude, Low Paladins, man.
It's simple, Andrew. She needs to get paid for her time, same as any other escort. Call it what it is, prostitution. Modern women are trash.
Oh,
Hey,
It's just the
whoa.
way I feel your energy is that of a
Disavow.
ghoul.
Low Paladins, we do not tolerate that misogyny.
Yeah, that's kind of. That was the trash part. You don't need to do that.
Disavow. Go ahead with your.
That's just simply what the argument
Oh.
is. It's just if you
Wait, what?
if you expect to be paid for the first date, and I'm not deciding
Well,
on any side.
it's even more pointed, right? I mean, she's right, but it's even more pointed than that. It's just to ask, oh, I want to be a boss babe, and I want to not be a stay-at-home mom, and I don't want to give you children, I don't want to do any of the traditional shit that men would want in their provider role, the things that they get out of it. I don't want to do any of that shit, but I want all the perks of as though I am providing all of those things. And it's like, at that point, isn't it delusional to have that expectation?
But you're not
Like
providing.
the whole panel, wouldn't that be delusional?
You're not providing those things on the first date.
You're
the
you're
first
already
date-
signifying
Wait,
that you
I
are
got something for
providing
this.
that. Yes.
Wait, first date. The woman shouldn't what?
Women shouldn't pay.
Oh,
Is that the-
well, I was actually gonna sort of related to that. I was gonna
But
ask.
hang on though, real quick, before you go into that. Yes, there is a signifier here. If you're saying I like a traditional man who's going to pay for my even the first date, you are sending out the signal that you are a traditional woman, right? That is what you are essentially inferring. And so, of course, you're going to show up on the first date and feel like you got robbed. He's going to be like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is this? You don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, you don't want to, and you still got to pay for the first date? That seems absurd, right?
Well, at least in the relationship that I'm actually in, my boyfriend and I have discussed having children in the future, and it's not that I have decided I'm not going.
There we go. This is where they personalize their stories, right? So they tend to personalize and put themselves in a position that they're the exception to the rules. It happens to be that when they personalize a lot of these arguments, they are the most exceptional, outside the rule kind of thing. They're never wrong. They're never part of the problem. It's a weird thing. I don't know how to explain this. But she's just gonna explain now that she's disgusted with her boyfriend. Everything is set up, everything is it makes sense, which doesn't make sense. But somehow she's the difference in all these arguments. She's the one that have the exception to the rule. So she has everything figured out.
going to be a stay-at-home mom, I'm crushing your dreams. It's that we both agree that having kids is probably not something that we want to do together. So I don't think that just because a woman doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom or have someone's children.
Did he pay for the first date?
Yeah.
Sucker. What a
Yeah,
sucker.
such a
Wait,
step.
All right.
But I'm in a relationship with him now.
Wait, question.
Yeah, he's as big a sucker now as he was when he paid for those first dates.
I don't think he would
Total
agree with
sucker.
that.
Wow.
Wait, so you've been dating this guy for 6 months?
Around.
You guys live together?
Yeah.
Do you guys split rent?
No, because he owns the property.
Oh, wow.
It's not rent.
Does he pay mortgage?
It's complicated because
does
his family is involved.
Well,
Does his family own the property?
Yeah, him and his family own the property.
does his family live on the property? Or is it
Him and
just
his
him?
brother.
Oh, my God.
But I'm assuming,
But I help with some of the bills.
what bills?
I help with rent, and I
Wait,
have.
What for this? Did she say? Did it? There's no rent on the property. It's already owned by the family. There's no even mortgage.
How's that?
Yes.
Well, like I help with mortgage, but it's like it's not rent per se. It's just like helping with utilities and stuff.
Wait, so is it rent? Is it utilities? Is it?
I would consider it rent because it's not my mortgage. I don't own the property, but I guess I just help with like the household stuff that they
So you
need
pay
to pay
rent?
for. A little, yeah, I guess.
Or do you pay utilities?
Whatever they
Or
put
both.
the money towards.
She's a little slow. She's a
Because
little
it's not
slow.
technically a rent. Like to me it is, but for them it's a mortgage.
Well, I mean, but it's essentially rent because you're not paying the mortgage directly. I'm assuming you're giving them money for you to live there,
Yeah.
and they're putting it towards the
their
mortgage, like any
Or
other
other
like any other landlord would do.
expense. Yeah.
And what about dates? Does he pay for dates?
Yeah, and I've talked to him about it too. I've mentioned, if you want me to pay a certain amount, like for dates and stuff, like if money is ever tight, like let me know. And he says, no, there are date nights. Like he wants to provide them.
Oh my God, what a sucker!
Okay.
I'm telling you, a lot of these problems just come with simps. Simps are the biggest problem when it comes down to all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like simps are a huge problem. All this mess. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.